Hi, Arnel Custodio here with another InMotion Hosting video tutorial. Today we're going to introduce you to the concept of WordPress Full Site Editing. By definition, WordPress defines full site editing to include everything from the site editor, global styles, many different site post and page blocks, the query block, navigation block, templates, and block themes. All of these things put together make up the concept that they are trying to deliver as full site editing. Basically, what they're trying to do is allow or empower a user to be able to go in and create a site or edit a site without having to go to a developer. So what we're going to do is go into a WordPress installation. Full site editing really has been integrated into the core from version 5.9. So we have a version 5.9.3 here loaded, and we're going to go and look for the different parts that we just identified. So we're going to start with the site editor. So the easiest way to get to the site editor is to go either to the site by visiting it, and then you can just edit the site here at the top. And this is the same thing that you'll see when you're editing a page or post, or what they've been calling visual editing. So the same interface. So you can see that there is a list view here to see the different structure of blocks that make up the page. And you can also add different blocks that apply to the page. And blocks can also come in patterns, which are a series of blocks put together and saved. So this is an example of the site editor. And you can see that we're editing, you can edit the header or footer for the page. Another thing that you can do here is you can actually go and edit the templates that make up the site as well. So for example, if you're trying to edit the 404 page, which is something that's auto-generated by WordPress, you can pick up that page and edit it as well. You can see browse all templates, and then you can see the 404 here. And right now, I'm actually in a different type of theme other than the default one, which is a block theme. So what we'll do is we're going to go ahead and go over the concept of the block themes while we're at it. In order to use full site editing, you need to have a theme that uses blocks, basically, or a block-based theme. If you're trying to use some of the themes of full site editing, your theme needs to be a block-based theme. So I'm going to go into themes here and look at the list. And the theme that comes with WordPress 5.9.3 or 5.9 is 2022. And this is a block-based theme. This is their default block-based theme. If I were to activate this theme and then if I were to try to edit the theme, you can see that if the options for editing here will be just going straight to the editor or going to the site and then clicking on Edit Site. Here you can also go to Customize, and this will also bring you straight to the editor. Now, if I were to select a different type of theme, an older theme, so I'm going to select one of the older default themes that are in there that I have loaded. And what you'll see is a difference in interface. It'll go back to the old interface. And instead of the themes and edit, you see customize here, the widgets, the menus, the background, all the items that were all part of an older version of WordPress. If I hit customize, then what you'll see is the older version of the editing for the WordPress page. So let's go back to the block-based themes. And while we're looking at the themes, the block-based themes that we have out there are not very many. And when you go looking, the easiest way is when you go into WordPress.org and you look at their themes, you can specify that you're looking for block-based themes. And the easiest thing to do is probably just go to the feature filter and then look for blocks, basically. Block editor styles, full site editing. And then you can use that filter. And it'll bring you up the themes that will allow you to use full site editing. Now, I just looked at this list a couple weeks ago, and it's already more than there was before. So you can tell that people are definitely creating more and more block-based themes, so they're becoming more prevalent. Going back to the site, I'm going to go ahead and activate the 2022 theme again, so that we can look at the different features in full site editing. And when you go to the posts, and this is the same thing with the pages, the editor is the visual editor when you go to add a new one or edit an existing post. And this is just like what we were looking at with the site editor, the same visual style editing where you have the blocks or the block structures, and then the settings for the blocks, individual blocks that you select on the right hand side. And when you look at the list of different blocks, a lot of these here, when they say that they made specific blocks for pages and posts, very often what you'll see is that for posts, you can see post tags and post categories and post anchors. And then when you look at pages, it'll say page instead of post. And those are blocks that are made to make it easier for the user or the viewer of your site to navigate around the site. So let's look at another thing that's part of the system that makes up full site editing, and that's templates. So here we do have templates, just like we did before in older versions of WordPress. The pages and posts also have templates, and each of these here can be selected on the settings for the post or the page, and they give the post or page a different look. When you go into the site editor, and I'm going to jump out there to the editor. When you click on the top drop-down menu in the very middle of the page at the top, above the header, you'll see something that says Browse All Templates. And I was looking at this a little earlier. But these templates all make up the structure of your WordPress site. You can add new ones, but basically you can see that there's a home page, there's an archive page, there's an index, single post, blank page, and single post. And what I was saying about the picking the different templates for the page or post, these are the templates that are made for each one of those. And you can select them to edit them. So if you want to make changes to the way those things are laid out, you can go here and make changes to those templates. And then you can save it, and then when you go to create a new page or post, you can select that particular one that you've edited, or you can create a new one that is specific to the page or post. Now, most of these here that you see in the list, like for example the 404, are auto-generated pages that you won't see unless you specifically do something with the URL. For example, if I were to go in and create a URL that doesn't exist, it should come up with the 404 page. This is the 404 page that is automatically created by the WordPress site. And these can be changed. So if you want to make changes to it and you want to add pictures, you want to add different things to it, then the site editor is where you would go to make changes to the template for the 404 pages. So the other thing that is part of the entire full site editing system are styles, or global styles. And the way you get to them is actually through the site editor, and you can go to the right hand side here and you look at the top right hand corner, and there is an icon that is called styles. So if I go to styles, and you can see there's a little intro thing that introduces you to the styles, and then you can go and change the way the fonts look. You can change the colors, and you can choose the layout. And these changes basically are by theme. The theme is what allows you to make these changes. So you can actually go in there and make changes to it as well. But these are global changes. So if you make a change to the font, all the fonts that are used on the site would be changed. If you make a change to the color, then the colors would be changed for the entire site. And the same thing applies to the layout. But in this particular theme, there isn't much there for the layout changes that can be done. So after layout, what you can see here is the option to customize the appearance of specific blocks for the whole site. So you can actually go and select blocks that you know you're going to be using and change the way they appear so that they consistently look that same way for the entire site. And there you have it. That's the introduction to using the full site editing features within WordPress. As they move forward, they are integrating all these more and more into the system as a whole. And you can see that they're making progress on changes and by suggestion. Not everyone is still all into using the full site editing yet, as it's pretty new, but it's definitely the way they're moving forward into the future. Thanks for listening, and have a great day.